Arlen here. Welcome back to my Country Craft Corner. How in the world are you guys doing today? It is so good to see you again, and thank you so much for stopping back by to see what I'm up to. And what I'm up to today is a Q&A and a little bit of a haul, and probably a little chit-chat along the way, because you know me, I can't do anything without chit-chatting a little bit. Speaking of chit-chat, I want to take a real quick moment here to thank every single one of you for my beautiful birthday messages. I don't think I've ever received so many birthday messages in my life, you guys. I think I've responded to most of you with hearts between my Facebook group and my YouTube and on Instagram. Thank you, and email. Thank you guys so much for every single comment. If I have not responded with a heart yet, I promise I'm going back through things to try to make sure that I've gotten everybody. Please don't have your feelings hurt if I haven't, though. I'm trying my best. And thank you guys so much. You touched my heart. You just touched my heart. I appreciate every single one of them. Every single one. So as most of you know, we went to Candace and Dustin's house to see Mr. Maverick yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday, and that was the best present I could have had in my whole entire life. I'm telling you, little Mr. Squish, Maverick James is our grandson, who's 3.5 months old now, just about, and is doing so well, you guys, so well. He's standing up with you hold his little fingers. He's standing up by himself. He does do a little wibble wobble a little bit, but he's doing really great. He's sitting up with his little hands in front of him. He's rolling around. He could just roll around the room if he wanted to. I'm telling you, he's so strong in his core, holding himself up in the front. He's so strong in his core. And just as precious as can be, the sweetest natured baby on the planet. I mean, I'm sure he's not, but he is so sweetly natured. I mean, he smiles all the time. He's coos. He's wonderful. He's just a wonderful little tyke. And I just adore him, as you guys can probably tell. So I'll quit gushing about him. But boy, did we have a good time with him. So we were there all day yesterday and didn't get home here until probably, I don't know, yesterday evening sometime. So I wanted to go ahead and sit down and do this video for you guys, though, today, because these usually take me a little while to edit. And I want to make sure that I get another video up for you this week. So first of all, I want to do a little bit of a haul, very quick haul, from a place called Collections, etc. I found this shop, and y'all are probably aware of it, and I'm, as always, behind the 8 ball here, coming in last, pulling in the rear when we hear about these things, because I'm usually the last to figure out where things are from. But I think this came up like on my Facebook feed. You know how advertisements come up, you know, when you're looking on Facebook. And I saw a set of red berry garland with LED lights, and I thought, oh, well, how cute is that? Now here it is, and I bought these with the idea to put them in with my mantle design. These are not going to work in there, you guys, because they're too pink. They looked much redder, so I just want to warn you, if you do go look at these they look pink, more pinky red, like a vintage red. And I'll be able to use these because that's how I do my kitchen. So I may be able to incorporate these into my centerpiece on the island or in some way, you know, out in the kitchen. I feel sure that I'll be able to utilize these. But they're really cute. They take 2 AA batteries. And there you can see. I don't want to put it right up to the camera like that, but there you can see. And it is, I'm not sure how long. It has 120 inches. It's 120 inches long, 10 feet long. It says it's 10 feet long, and it says featuring white lights and loaded with red acrylic berries. This battery-operated garland is 10 feet long and is perfect for adding some festive sparkle anywhere in your home. Choose between red, gold, or silver regular 2 AA batteries sold separately, and an on and off switch. So these do not come with a timer. So whenever your batteries die, your lights will die, you know, unless you physically go and turn it on and off, you know, every day. It's not going to go on and off by itself. These were only $11.99 for the, but you get a lot, as you heard, you know, 10 feet long. That's a lot. I mean, if you were just laying it across a garland, most garlands are 6 feet, you know. So, but anyway, I thought they were pretty, and I will utilize them in my kitchen. It's not something, I really want to warn you though, this is not a red like the berries I bought for the staircase, guys. These are not that red. These are more of a pinky vintagey red. So anyway, I got 2 sets of them, and I will utilize them. They're cute. So I got these, and the next thing I got were a couple of vests so that I can wear with my Christmas, doing my Christmas decor around the Christmas, you know, holidays and stuff. And these are really pretty. Look, they're just, this is black, and like I said, it is a vest, and it is embroidered in the front. Look at that, with poinsettias. It is zip, and this is a 2X. Now, this is a generous 2X. If you are a 2X, ladies, this will fit you. This will fit you. This is the largest they go, though. I used to be on the small side of a 1X. Now I'm on the large size of a 1X and a small side of the 2X. Really, I'm actually really a 2X, and these fit me. These fit me just about perfect. Sorry, just about perfectly, you guys. They really couldn't fit me any better. So I did get black with the poinsettias. And I need to pull this a little closer. These lights are it's gonna keep doing that. It's gonna drive y'all nuts, sorry. Hopefully you guys can see everything, sorry. Then I did get a cream. Look at that, isn't that pretty with the Cardinal? Look at that. Is that not pretty? I love this. But can't you picture this with like a red or a black or a green even, you know, top underneath, long sleeve. For me, it'll be a turtleneck, you know. I love them. I love them. And they're fleece. They're kind of feel like fleece. I wouldn't say they're extremely stretchy fleece, but they're fleece. Let me see what it says on the... This stylish vest is a quick and easy way to finish any outfit for this season. The ivory-colored sleeveless vest features a zippered front and an intricately embroidered cardinal perched atop a pine branch with berries and a festive bow. Approximately 26 inches long, hand-washed cotton imported. Choose medium, 10-12, large, 14-16, extra large, 18-20, extra large, 22-24. I'm really about an 18-20, but I wouldn't have bought the extra large in this. You couldn't have paid me to buy the extra large in this. And I'm glad I went ahead and got the 2X. It fits me really well. So they have all kinds of different little things like this. They've got shirts, and I want to say maybe sweatshirts and other festive garb for very good, they're very well priced. This was $24.99, the cream one, and the black one I believe was $27.99. So, I mean, for that, it's not bad. For an embroidered piece, that's not bad at all for that. So, and if you, well, at that day, I don't know what it is today, but that day, if you spent $50, you got free shipping. But I have a feeling I'm sure they come up with free shipping sometimes. They have a lot of cute little Christmas stuff. If you are interested in Christmas bedding, I've been looking at some Christmas bedding since we have a main floor master. I was thinking it would be cute to put just a quilt in there for something different for the holidays. But they have a lot of different quilts, Christmas holiday quilts and bedspreads, but you do have to buy the sham separately, but it's so well priced, you don't mind buying the sham separately. I mean, I saw one for $19.99, a king size, you guys, for $19.99. Now, that was the cheapest I saw, and I believe those pillow shams were like $6.99 a piece, standard shams. They didn't have king size shams, they're just all standard shams. But shoot, for Christmas, I don't want to break the bank doing that. It's only going to be on the bed a couple of months or a month. And, I very well might end up doing that. Anyway, I thought that was a really cute idea. So it's a nice little place. And I, from what I've gotten so far, the quality seems to be fine. They have a lot of rugs, the little crisp, holiday rugs, and figurines and all kinds of stuff. So, take a little peek at collections, etc. I'll give you a link in the description. No, I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but it's just somewhere I found that I thought I would share with you guys. So there you go, cute stuff. All right, now I've got some questions here. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me mute my computer here. Okay, so I think I've got, let me see, 11 questions, but some have more than one in them. So number one, this is from Catherine Mulvihill. I hope I didn't butcher that. For y'all, let me apologize to start out with. If I butcher your name, please forgive me. I do my best here. Catherine Mulvihill, M-U-L-V-I-H-I-L-L. Hi, Arlene. I think your hair looks very elegant. Well, there we go. Thank you for saying that. And you wear it so well. Well, thank you. Can I ask, apart from making beautiful bows, etc., and decorating, do you have another hobby? I love to knit and crochet too. Stay safe and God bless. Well, I will say that not so much anymore. I will say I used to crochet a lot. I used to crochet doilies for everybody. That was my thing, doilies. I never was patient enough to do an Afghan, y'all. Isn't that awful? But I never was patient enough to do an Afghan. I am the type of person that likes to sit down, do a craft in one day, get up and have it finished. Well, as y'all know, with crocheting or knitting, you can't really do that. I have knitted a little bit before. I know a little bit about knitting, and I know more about crocheting, but I just don't do it. I used to be an avid reader. That's really not a hobby, but I used to be an avid reader and am not so much anymore. And the only time I read is when I'm on an airplane and when I can't get on the internet. Isn't that awful? I need to take out time to read. But as far as other hobbies, not really. I'm pretty busy with what I'm doing here, and that kind of keeps me away from doing other things like that because I'm really super busy doing this. So let's see. She said, stay safe and God bless everybody, and the same to you and everybody. Thank you for that question, Catherine. All right, number two. This is from Jamie Wilson. I love the way you spell that. J-A-Y-M-I-E, Jamie Wilson. This is lovely, Arlene. I have two questions to put on the list. Number one, do you use ribbon in your Christmas tree decorating? I see many people wrapping it around the tree or using it in stripes, sort of. Would you be willing to show us how to do that? Two, in Australia, most of the Christmas decorations are all snow/winter themed. Do you have any suggestions for Christmas decorating in a warm climate? Oh, and if you're looking for suggestions for some videos, I'd love to see a tour of your town. Thanks, Jamie. I think that Chris and I are thinking, and we were looking at Skyline Drive. He looks at a camera up there, and we very well might go up there later in the week. And if we do, then I'll bring you a video, a quick one, of that, or show you some pictures at least of that. So, but yeah, I have some videos that I've done when we were in quarantine around our town and stuff. I'll see if I can link some in the description, Jamie, that you might be interested in seeing some of those. We've gone to some of the battlefields around our town, and we live in a very Civil War rich area, A lot of history happened here in our town. Okay, now, do you use ribbon in your Christmas tree decorating? I do, much like you see with the topper up here. I usually make a funky bow topper, though. Big, not funky bow, but I'm going to be making a new one this year. So yes, I will show you how I do it. I'm going to be trying to make a new big fat red velvet with gold edges tree topper bow. So Chris and I made us a big tree topper a couple of years ago, and it gets tied on the tree right there. And then it does have two streamers that come down. Well, this one will too. Hopefully, if I have enough ribbon, will come down and cascade kind of down the tree. I definitely have seen what you're talking about people using strips of ribbon and using it kind of as garland and going around the tree, which is really pretty. I don't do that though. I don't normally do that. I know that Danielle over there at Danielle's Decor, I know she had a tree. I think she did one like that last year, the year before. She could go over and do a search on her channel. And you know, other YouTubers I'm sure do that, but I don't do that. I have a lot of ornaments that go on my trees, and I normally let the ornaments kind of, you know, I don't need to use a lot of ribbon because I have a lot of ornaments. So in Australia, most of the Christmas decorations are all snow and winter themed. Do you have any suggestions for Christmas decorating in warm climate? Honest to Pete, it is warm here sometimes at Christmas time. You know, it just depends on the year. Warm meaning in the 50s, you know, 40s or 50s. But regardless of the temperature, that wouldn't bother me as far as my decorating goes. I don't change my decorating. I don't worry about how I decorate with how the weather is outside. I go by the calendar. I don't go by what the temperature is outside. I often thought about that. What if I moved to Florida or Australia or something like that? How would I decorate? And I'm thinking, well, silly, you would decorate just the way you do now. You know, for fall, in the fall time, for our fall, I would decorate for fall. For our Christmas time, Christmas decorations, I would decorate, you know, in the same way that I do now. So I might not be a good one to ask that question because I would do it the same way that I do my decorating now. I wouldn't change that because Christmas time for me is in December, and no matter the weather or where I am or what I'm doing, it's still Christmas time, and my Christmas decor, you know, would be the same. So that's, I'm sorry. I know you're probably looking for some different kind of decor, but I'm very classic and with my Christmas decorating especially. So I hope that answered your question a little bit though. Okay, number 3 is from Carol Hale. Hey, Carol. I like your Q&A videos and have some questions. 1, you mentioned your birthday coming up. Do you mind us telling us what day it is? Well, it was yesterday, which was Columbus Day. That's what day it is. Number 2, how many years between your girls are there? There are 3 years and 2 weeks between our girls. She said there are 4 between my girls and 5 between my younger daughter and son. I guess that's why I'm struggling to watch both my grandsons, as one is 2.5 and the other is 1. A handful. Oh, I betcha. What kind of music do you like, and what song did you and Chris dance to at your wedding? My husband and I had Billy Joel's Just the Way You Are. I love that song. That's all I can think of for now. Thank you. Have a great week. Bless your heart, Carol. Thank you for all the questions. What kind of music do I like? I like any kind of music. I really do. I like gospel. I like pop. I don't like really hard rock, and I don't like rap too much. But I like, you know, Dixieland. I like orchestra music, very classical music. I like country music. I like pop music. I like, you know, like classic rock. You know, I like all that kind of music. As far as what we danced to at our wedding, we did not dance at our wedding, sweetie. We did not do any dancing at our wedding. We had just a very, very small little reception. What was for everybody who was at the church, but it was in a church, and we did not have a band or anything, or a DJ or anything like that. So we didn't dance to anything. I'm sorry. But again, thank you for those questions. All right, number 4 from Pink Shamrock. We've heard so many things about your lovely family. Would it be okay if we hear about Kristen? Well, of course. She is so beautiful and sounds like a kind-hearted gal. You must be so proud that she is a teacher. A very noble job. Yes, it is. I understand if you or she doesn't want to, but it would be fun to hear about your other lovely daughter. I'm sorry that you haven't heard me talk about Kristen. I've kind of talked about both of them a good bit, but I think Candace has had more of the spotlight because of Maverick, you know, because of Maverick being born. But of course, Kristen is our oldest child. And she, as you said, she is a teacher. She started out teaching 4th grade, and then a few years ago moved to kindergarten. She was actually teacher of the year, not just for her school, but for her whole county here in Virginia. One year, which after she was only teaching on her 5th year of teaching, she got teacher of the year for the whole county. I'm very proud of her. I'm very, very proud of her. She is an amazing lady. She is a wonderful teacher, very hands-on, very interactive teacher. She right now is doing triple duty though with, you know, working remotely and in school, and she does so much. It's like she makes 3 different lesson plans. She has created a lot with the platforms, that the kids, she's made her virtual classroom. You teachers out there know what I'm talking about. And you have to have links. She has, I don't even know how many links she has in her virtual classroom, depending on the subject. She's done an amazing job. Just amazing. She's taught herself pretty much how to do everything, and then she teaches others how to do things. She's very tech savvy, very tech savvy. And she's a bit of an overachiever. I don't know where she got that from, but she's a bit of an overachiever, like her sister and somebody else I know. 2 other people I know, God help us. So, but she is beautiful inside and out, inside and out. And I'm very, very proud of her. And her grandma, who was also a teacher, my mom, was very, very proud of her. She's a wonderful human being, wonderful human being. So giving. She's the one at Christmas time, I'm sure we all probably have one of these, who pays attention to what everybody else might be interested in. She says she's a Facebook stalker is what she does. She stalks people's Facebook to see what they're interested in. And then she usually buys them like themed Christmases, like whatever you're interested in. She'll get you a t-shirt and a pen and a cup and a mug and a, whatever t-shirt, and she's amazing like that. She's very thoughtful. She's a thoughtful shopper, She's amazing. So thank you for asking about her, and I'm sorry I haven't talked much about her because, as I say, I think Candace has kind of taken, center stage there with Maverick. So both my girls are amazing young women. I'm so blessed to have both of them. I'm telling you, there's something else. Okay, number 5 from LaJoyce Nafis? I don't know. Arlene, you are always so bubbly. Oh, how have you been so positive and focused with the COVID going strong? Love your show. Enjoy every episode. Well, thank you so much, LaJoyce. I was just talking to Chris about this the other day, and half the reason I procrastinated so long about doing that wreath, my big wreath that I made the other day, was because I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't, not that I wasn't feeling creative. I don't ever not feel kind of creative, but I knew it was going to be a lot of work, and I knew it was going to take a lot of gumption, and thought process as I was going. And I was like, you know what? I just wasn't feeling it. And so finally I did this week and went ahead and did it. And I'm so glad I've done it now. I'm so glad I've done it. But there are days, and I would be a fibber if I sat here and said, oh, I'm happy-go-lucky every day and nothing bothers me and it's just wonderful and butterflies and roses and yay. And no, that's not it, y'all. That's not the way it's been. It's not. It's been hard. It's been hard to go through this. I've been so grateful that, we were retired and that all of our kids, Dustin, Candace, and Kristen, were all essential workers and nobody lost their jobs. And, the girls were able to work from home and Dustin was able to work from his office and only go to on site every now and again. I was so grateful for that because I think I would worry sick, And I have so many friends with frontline workers, nurses. 2 of my dear friends' daughters are nurses. One who's been working with COVID patients and are amazing young women, I'm telling you, and the sacrifices they have made. Thank you, everybody who's been on the front lines of this disease. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all you've done. But I'm not happy-go-lucky all the time. And some days I'll tell Chris, I've got to go find my happy so that I can do a video because as I worked my way through the COVID, as you put it, and I say that all the time too, I had to dig deep some days just to pull myself up by my bootstraps and say, oh my goodness, get out of the doldrums, Arlene, come on, do something, be a little happy. I did, I had to fight my way. I had to fight my way, you guys. I would be a fibber if I said I didn't. It was hard. It is still hard. Even though things are getting better, it's still hard. It's still hard, you know. So I try to be happy for y'all, though. I, honest to goodness, I do. Because y'all don't need to come on here and turn on my channel and see me boo-hooing about everything. That's not going to do you guys any good. Half the reason, or a lot of the reason, most of the reason that I do my channel is to be of a help to other people. And people look at me and they think, you're fibbing, you're lying, you don't mean that, you're fake, you don't mean that. I am not fake. People think I'm fake because they just don't believe that somebody would just do YouTube and not want to have something, you know, for themselves. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, it's hard work. And I am tired. I'll admit that I'm tired. I really am. But I do it because I love it. I love the interactions I have with you. I feel like I'm helping people. Even if it's not through necessarily my crafting, which might not necessarily be the best in the world, or my decorating, which may not be the best in the world, and I've been made fun of for my decorating too. Whatever. You know, what is it? Why is it that you hear the, you know, the thousands of wonderful positive things that are said, but one person can say something ugly and it just throws you off your game? I don't know why that is. I guess it's hurtful. I guess because it's hurtful, but regardless. But y'all didn't need to come on here and see me, you know, crying into my tea here. You know, you need, and I have brought you some interesting stuff, you know, with taking my fingernails off to, you know, doing silly little crafts or just chit-chatting or doing a lot of Q&As, but just for me to engage with you, you know, for you guys. Sorry. But anyway, that's how, and it's not put on because I've really had to kind of muster up my happy, you know. And doing these videos makes me happy. It helps me feel better when I do them. It really does. Okay, so thank you for that question, LaJoyce. I kind of went on and on about that for a minute. Okay, number 6. This is from Melissa Ball. I always enjoy your sharing your shopping hauls with us. I have a couple of questions for you. I started doing my own gel manicures during the COVID shutdown. Does the SC polish you use require curing under a UV/LED lamp and soaking it in acetone for removal like a traditional gel mani? Does it last as long as a traditional gel mani? First, it does not require that you put your nails underneath a light. Now, I've had these on, this color on, for 2 weeks now. Now, I will say I added a coat about 4 days ago. I added one coat of color, and I added a coat of top coat. I added a coat of color and a coat of top coat. And you can see they still look pretty good. They still look pretty good. So, but no, you do not have to cure them. I would say usually with those manicures, the gel manicures that you do have to set with the light, that you have done like in a salon, don't they last like 4 weeks? I don't even know. I've never really had one. My acrylic nails lasted forever. You know, the nail polish never came off of them, and they looked the same as they did other than they grew out, you know. But I wouldn't say that the SC polish is wonderful. It's the best I've ever had. And I would say you get an easy week and a half without having to really touch it, or at least I did. And I don't do dishes every night. I would say Chris and I eat off of paper plates sometimes, you know. But I do a lot of dishes and cleaning and whatnot, you know, and crafting, as you've seen. So I really like it. I think it's like some of the best polish I've ever had. So. But no, you don't need to cure it. I do have a light that I use just because I don't want to sit forever and wait for it to dry. I'm impatient. I want to get it dry, and it helps me not to hit it on stuff, you know. So I do have a light, and I have one linked in my Amazon shop. You can always find the link for my Amazon shop in the description box below. So, okay, number 7. This is from Renee Cruz. If you think this question is of bad taste, please forgive me. But I'm going to jump in. How did you start with YouTube? How did you start with the blog? How did you learn about filming, lighting, etc., editing, etc.? Yes, I am seriously thinking about getting in the business. I don't know where to start. You and Danielle make it look so natural and easy. Oh, well, thank you so much. And Danielle thanks you too, I'm sure. Let's see, I've told this story before, so for those of you who have heard it, you might want to zip on through this. But I had a very dear friend. Her name was Liz, not the Liz at Traditions by the Seasons, although she's a dear friend of mine now. But this Liz was a friend of mine that I met through our Newfoundland dogs. And she lived on Vancouver Island, which is in Victoria in British Columbia. And we actually met in person many times because Chris and I travel out of Vancouver for our Alaska cruises. So I was able to meet her 3 or 4 times. And I feel so blessed and lucky that I was able to meet her in person because she was a very, very special lady who was a food blogger herself, B-L-O-G-G, food critic blogger. She wrote for magazines. She would go to area restaurants there around town. She used to be from over on this coast in Labrador, I think. And then her husband was in the Navy, in the Canadian Navy, and they moved. He was chief of the watch or something, chief of the something, big guy, big wig, in the Navy, and they ended up moving to the West Coast. But she was a blogger, and she was so funny and fluent and smart and so quippy. You know, she had a great personality. And we were friends on Facebook, and I used to, before I did all this, I used to put my pictures of my decorating up on Facebook sometimes. Just say, oh, I'm decorating for Christmas, here they are. And she fell in love with my decorating, and she said, Arlene, you need to start a blog. I mean, you're out of your mind, woman. Who is going to want to read about how I make a wreath? Or how I decorate a corner? Or how I, whatever I do, you know? Or how I cook a cheesecake, or how I do this or that, you know? And she said, you'd be surprised. And these are her words, you guys, these are not my words, but she said, I have a sweet voice. And she said, you could touch people more than just through your decorating and your crafting, Arlene. She said, there's something, you know, you have a sweet voice. So I said, okay, I'll try it. So I got a WordPress account, and I opened that up, and I started out with my blog, B-L-O-G. And I taught myself, nobody taught me, honey. I taught myself how to set up a website, how to set up, I mean, now WordPress gives you templates. If you want to start a blog, they do give you templates. And it's pretty self-explanatory, although there is a learning curve, and you do need to, you need to set your mouth right, and you need to be determined, and don't give up. Because there are some times when you just kind of go, I don't know what I'm doing, and I might want to give up. Don't give up. Because it's worth it in the end. So my blog, once I got everything up and going, and you know, I started to blog, and it was pretty well received, definitely well received, you know. And I still love to blog. I just don't do it very often anymore because I'm doing this, you know. So after I did my blog, then she had come up with the one. She's the one that helped me come up with cozy corners for my cozy corners that I do, you know. But I named my my channel Arlene's Country Craft Corner, not necessarily because I do country crafts, although I do country crafts and have done country crafts, but it's more because I live in the country craft corner, you know. Anyway, corner, and you know, she would read my blogs and she would critique me and help me, you know. Then one day she says, okay, now you're going to take the next step. I said, what are you talking about? She said, I want you to do a YouTube video. I said, what? Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Oh my gosh, I don't know how I'd be in front of a camera, Liz. That's scary. I don't know whether I want to do that. That's, you know, I don't know. She said, I've always been a person who puts my makeup on every day, who does my hair every day, who dresses every day, you know, and I've always been like that, you guys, always, throughout my whole life, not just my married life, my whole life. I've been like it. My mom instilled that in me, you know. And she said, I think you would be well received. And I'm like, I think you're out of your mind, woman. I do. So anyway, Chris and I were fixing to go on a Canada and New England cruise. So right before we left, I opened up my YouTube channel and I put up 1 or 2 videos, I think, which I've since deleted my first video. Somebody asked me that, can I see the first video you ever did? And I deleted that first one because it was terrible, you guys. It was just terrible. So, but anyway, I put up a video, and by the time we got home, I had 38 subscribers, you guys. Now, to me, that was like huge. I was like, I got 38 subscribers. I didn't even do anything. You know, I hadn't answered anybody's comments back, which at the very beginning, when I opened up my channel, I always answered everybody's comment. Without fail, I answered everybody back, answered everybody. And I still think that's very important to do, especially when you're first starting out. But I even try, when I have time, I will answer, at least answer questions, unless I'm doing a Q&A, and then I'll even say then, I save this for the Q&A, you know. And I say that when I see your, you know, when I've read your comment, you'll see my heart, and I've taken it to my heart. And I've been saying that for a while now, you know. Because the bigger my channel gets, the more comments I get, and the more difficult it gets for me to answer everybody. So anyway, but I realized then that maybe Liz was right. Maybe somebody was interested in what I was doing, and that's how I did it. Now I have to tell you about Liz. Within this time, she was diagnosed with ALS. And she passed away, it'll be 3 years in October this month. What's today, the 13th, 15th? 15th, I believe, or 18th, she passed away of ALS. It took her quick, you guys. It took her really quick. And a bright light was taken from this earth. I'm telling you, she was one of the most precious women I've ever met. And I miss her terribly still. To this day, I miss her terribly. But how did I learn about filming, lighting, editing, etc.? I've been doing videos for many, many years. The band director at the kids' school taught me a little bit about how to use iMovie, which is an editing program that comes with all of Apple products, and I use Apple products, Macintosh products. And so I already knew a little bit about editing. I had no idea how to film. At first, all of my videos were vertical. I would suggest that I would highly encourage those of you who are on trying to do YouTube to turn your phone or your camera to make sure that you have a horizontal going in a landscape way, you know, because that fills the screen up. If you see people's videos where there's just a narrow space, you know, that you're trying to see the whole thing in just this little narrow space, they have their phone turned the wrong direction, you know. So I learned that you need to turn it sideways. I learned you need to speak up so people can hear you, or turn up your volume when you're editing so that people can hear you. Lighting wise, I just recently got a light ring. This is how I looked in many of a video before I had my light. I would look like that. You know, and I can do different colors with this light ring. I do think I have this in my, you know, I can do that or that or that. I usually choose that. And it can go up and down in the, you know, I can make it brighter, or I can make it kind of darker, you know, if you want. But that helps to light your face, you know, and take away some of the shadows a little bit, you know. Camera angles are my most difficult thing to this day when I'm doing wreaths or bows or whatever. It's, you know, it's all a learning curve, and I encourage you to start though, and I encourage you to start working with your phone. I just video with my phone mostly. I do have a vlogging camera, but I do use my phone mostly, you know, to be honest with you. I have a iPhone X is what I have. So, but that's it. And as far as being a natural in front of the camera, I don't know whether I've always been, but I've never been nervous, too nervous. The first couple I was, but then I got used to it. But I would encourage you to always be honest with your audience. Never try to put on airs. Never try to be something you're not. Because if you're going to be on YouTube for any amount of time, you need to be the same personality-wise all the time. and be true to yourself and be true to your viewers, because they'll know. I mean, they'll know. I mean, you all know when I'm tired. You all know when I'm not feeling well. You all know when I have a headache. You all know when I'm upset about something. You know, your viewers will get to know you inside and out. And I've allowed, you know, of course you can stop. You know, there's some things that I won't talk about. And, you know, I don't want to be rude ever, but there are things that I won't talk about. And y'all know pretty much the things that I won't talk about. So therefore you don't ask. But when people do ask about it, I just simply say, I can't talk about that. And y'all understand it, you know. And it's not usually not because I don't want to talk about it, it's because other people don't want me to talk about it, you know. And that's okay. That's okay. So, but I would say be honest and true with your audience, you know, and don't be afraid to be yourself. And look and make sure you figure out, this is one of those important things. I can't stand it when a YouTuber comes on and is looking over here and is talking to you like they're engaging with you. And y'all know this and that, and oh my goodness about this and that and the other thing. Not one time making eye contact with you. Figure out where you want to where you are making eye contact. Like I know, like if I'm looking like here, I'm looking at myself. If I look over to the left, that's where my camera is. And that's where, when I look there, that's when I can look you guys in the eye. At least I hope. I can look you in the eye and talk to you, engage with you. And of course I look away sometimes to make sure everything's all right behind me. And you know, everybody looks around when they're talking and stuff, but I try to come back and make eye contact all the time. So anyway, I could go on and on. I should do a video just on this, you know? That might be a thought. Let me know if those of you who might be interested in starting a channel would be interested in a video about this, because I could go on about this for a long time. So let me know. But thank you so much, Renee. I hope that helped you. Okay, number 8. Arlene, you look adorable with that hairpiece. Well, thanks. I had it on today. I didn't realize I had people commenting. That's where the questions came from. I have it on today too. And I've had my hair done. Had my hair done and colored the other day. So I am definitely going to order me some. Good. I am with you on kids being unruly and parents just acting like they don't hear them or they are ignoring them. Oh my word, that is a pet peeve of mine. Anyway, now I'm rambling. I'm so excited to see your new staircase. I think it's going to be beautiful. I do have one question for you. I am wondering if you decorated for Halloween when your girls were small, or if you are going to decorate for Halloween as Maverick gets a little older. Thanks for taking the time to answer my question. I also have ordered from Bobby at Perpetual Ribbons. She is the sweetest. Yes, she is. And I absolutely love her ribbon. I'm going to be ordering a bunch from her today. I hope that you have a beautiful and blessed weekend. Love you, my friend, Gina. Gina, you've had to wait a while for this one, haven't you, sweetie? I'm sorry. Well, you all have. I'm sorry. Yeah, when the kids were littler, I would do a little bit of Halloween. Normally it was out on the front porch, though. I really didn't do it in the house. I've pretty much always done, you know, the autumn decor only in the house. So it was usually just out on the front porch if I was going to do any Halloween-y stuff. But honestly, I really haven't done much. And as far as Maverick is concerned, maybe, I don't know. We'll see as he grows older, you know, what he has interest in and whatever, and I'll play that by ear. I don't know. I sure could. You know, I could do a little, you know, cozy corner or something just for Maverick in Halloween. You know, I'd probably end up doing like vintage Halloween though. I don't like, I'm sorry you guys, I'm a terrible person to just come out and say this, but I don't care for Halloween. Halloween is my least favorite holiday or whatever of the year. And I love when people do like the vintage or the cute Halloween. I think that's really cute, but it's really not something that I've ever really done too much of. So that comes from my upbringing, I think, and the way that I was raised. You know, we just never, I did trick-or-treating and stuff as a child, you know, don't get me wrong there. And, but we'll see as time goes on as far as Maverick is concerned. And I counted wrong. I actually must have 12 questions because this is my second number 8 here. So this one is from Mary Jo Craver. How did you and Chris split up the household duties? I'm digging deep to ask something for you of one of your videos, LOL. One more. Who makes the bed? My husband makes his side. He's funny, but it's help. I might add he just started. Thanks for your videos. If you don't want to answer the questions, it's okay. They are personal. It's okay, Mary Jo. I appreciate you trying to dig deep to find me some questions. Chris and I have always shared the household duties. Of course, we share them more now. I did more when he worked. I will say that. I did all the vacuuming, all the dusting, all the cleaning, all the kid running, all that stuff. I did all the bills. I did all that stuff when he was working. I wanted him to make sure that only thing that he had to concentrate on was his job and the yard. I don't do the yard. I don't do the flower beds. I don't do the mowing. Although I have when he's had to travel. You know, I do the mowing and the shoveling when he's had to travel. But he does all the shoveling usually. And I help a little bit. And all the mowing and all the outdoor duties. And I used to do all the indoor duties. I've also always made the bed. And I make the bed every day. I make it every day without fail. Unless I'm sick in the bed, I make the bed. And I make the bed because I'm the last one up. He gets up really early in the morning. Chris and I are sometimes like ships passing in the night. He gets up really early in the morning. He loves the morning hours. He's a morning person. I am not a morning person. So, but I make the bed every day, and right now he does the vacuuming because he's worried about my back and, you know, my knees and stuff. So he'll do the vacuuming. I do all the dusting. We share the bathrooms. We share the cooking. We share the dishes. We both do the dishes. One washes, one dries every night. We don't use a dishwasher unless it's a holiday and we have a bunch of people here. We wash our dishes in scalding hot water, and I'm always having to turn the water hotter because he doesn't wash it under hot enough water for my taste. So he's like, ouch, I can't take it. I don't like, you know, and I'm like, turn that water up, make it hot, you know. So there you go. Okay. Did I answer them all? Who makes the bed? Yeah. Number 9, Jacqueline Melendez. Hey, Jackie. Jacqueline. Sorry, maybe you're not Jackie. One of you guys who's Jacqueline says you're Jackie, but I don't think that's you. It might be. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry if it is. Ireland, loved all the pics of your old home. It looked cozy. It was cozy. I love your updo. Thank you. I'm thinking of getting one for myself. You should. My question to you is there a reason why you don't have a coffee table in your living room? I think it will look gorgeous since you have all that open space. Anyway, have a great day. Tons of love and bunches of hugs. God bless you and your family always. Oh, well, the same to you, Jacqueline. I actually do have a coffee table in my living room. This is my family room over here on this side of the house where we're sitting. And you're right, I don't have a coffee table because, for one thing, I've never gotten over this. I always had huge dogs. I always had, and I'm talking 150 to 170 pound Newfoundland dogs. They were mini horses. And I never really had room for a coffee table. Now in this house I might have, but in the other house I never really had room for a coffee table. My family room was very long and narrow, and all of my furniture reclines too. And that's the reason why I really haven't adopted one in this house, because my couch, the two ends of the couch recline. I have these two big navy blue, let me turn around here, navy blue rockers that recline. They're rocker recliners. And then, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, my computer's getting in my way here. And then the chair over there, this one here, that's a rocker recliner too. So these chairs recline. Both of these blue chairs, there's one here and one over here on the other side, the pole's in the way. And then the couch and the other chair all recline. So I don't want a coffee table in there because they all recline, and I don't want to have to move the coffee table out of the way every time we recline the couch or the chairs. Even though we could set one right in the middle of the room, I guess, and that would work, but that would mess with my flow, you know. So that's why, because I have reclining furniture and we had big dogs, and I never had them with the big dogs. But we've always had reclining furniture, so it's both things. So there we go, Jacqueline. All right, next one is from Ronnie S. I love the decor. One more after this. I love the decor in your chit chat videos. I have a wreath/funky bow question. How do you determine the length of ribbon when making a funky bow? I have not been able to figure out the dimensions, I am looking forward to your Christmas decor and changes that you will be making. Hugs from Florida. You know, you're not the first one to ask me this, and I wish that I had a way to tell you how I figured this out. I just don't have a way that I have, or what kind of bow or how big of a bow you make for a wreath or for a centerpiece or for a swag or whatever. I eyeball it all the time. I figure out how big I want the bow by whatever I'm making. For instance, when I made the big wreath the other day, let me put it here, I made those loops 6 inches long each. I do have some ribbon here that cut out for a funky bow, and it's just some of this red plaid that I got from Walmart. And some of you were also asking me about the tails. Now, if I would make this, let's say this is, I cut these strips at 22 inches long each, and I have 8 of them. And let's say I want to make my loops, let's do it same as that other bow, 6 inches. So I'm just going to fold my ribbon, a 22-inch piece of ribbon, in half, and I'm going to pinch it together at 6 inches. So that's going to give me a 6-inch loop, and my tail is... Honest to goodness, Ronnie, to be honest with you, I have no way to tell you how I really do that, other than I just normally make my funky bows at either 5.5 inches or 6 inches for the loops. And I may cut the ribbon a little bit longer if I want longer tails. But I have found that I really don't like the tails to be longer, because somebody had said this too, it makes it look like a hat with the bow, and then it has all the tails hanging down. I don't like that look. I like the tails to be short enough that they'll fly up and into the body of the bow. I have some ribbon cut here, just 8 pieces of ribbon, and I'm going to go ahead and make a cute little, real quick, funky bow out of this, all out of one ribbon, and just make the loop 6 inches long with, the tails are about 5 inches, you know, because you need room just for the pinching part. And I'm just going to make a quick funky bow, and I'll show you what I mean here. I'm going to do 2 loops up and 2 loops down, and then I go back. Somebody else had asked me this question too. Arlene, when you switch that ribbon around underneath, do you do it above your fingers? Do you twist it above your fingers, or do you twist it below your fingers? I twist it below where I'm holding. You see that? See where I twist it? I twist it below. I hold this ribbon, the front ribbon, out of my front tail out of the way with my pinky, and I twist. And that way you have your ribbons going in the same direction. And this is really 2-sided ribbon, so you really don't have to twist, but I twist anyway. So let me go ahead. I'm going to make this up real quick, and then I'll do 2 loops up and 2 loops down, pinching together at 6 inches. One more thing I want to show you too as I'm doing the finishing this up. I'm not going to put any tails on this bow, longer tails, but when I add the ribbon into a funky bow, this is the last one, I push it in. You can see side by side by side. See that? I don't pile it on top of one another, and I don't pile it underneath of one another. Let me get my pipe cleaner. Can you see how those tails are kind of coming up and into the bow? Let me get it tied together and we'll fluff. I would rather do a funky bow like this so that the tails can come up and in and mix into the loops more than I would. The longer you make your tails, the more they're going to fall down and into down to the bottom of the bow. I think a nice funky bow with shorter tails, which would mean that your ribbon needs to be cut shorter to begin with, like at 22 inches with a 6-inch, with a 6-inch loop. I think that makes for a prettier bow. So this bow at this size would be great to put on. I got one loop that's really too big. It would be great to put on a wreath, just a very plain you know, let's say you wanted to do Christmas, why couldn't you get a little bell, put it in between, in the center there, glue it into the center, and put it on just a pine wreath with white lights? I mean, that alone would be just beautiful, you know? And this is just an 8-loop funky bow with 20, you know, the loops or the strips starting out at 22 inches. And you can see the tails are up and in and coming in and through the bow. And you can pull them up and you can move them around. So I guess the way you make a funky bow bigger is to make your loops bigger. So then make your strips longer. I've never made a funky bow like with 8-inch loops, although you probably could. 6 inches is usually the biggest I go. And that makes you can see that bow's pretty big, about as big as my head. So I'm not really good at answering this particular question, I will admit that, because I really do just all eyeball it. And that does not make me the best of teachers in that way. In this way, does it, girls and guys? But I don't know. You know what, and sometimes I'll sit back and I'll think, okay, now, Arlen, you want to teach them how to do this or that you've done for years and years, and so break it down and make sure that you take it step by step by step, because nobody understands more about when somebody's making something and they don't explain what they're doing, and I get frustrated. So I am sure you're probably a little bit frustrated that I haven't, you know, conversed more about why I make my strips this long or that long, and I really don't have any reason other than I used to make my strips, and for those of you who might go back and see earlier funky bow tutorials, I used to make my strips at like 32 inches long, and then on some lantern tutorials I ended up cutting the strips up because I thought that the length of the ribbon was too long. So I encourage you to err on the side of, you can always cut your tails down for sure, but you know, if you want them to start out the right size, like, you know, I would say anywhere between 22 and 24 inches, and with a 6-inch loop or a 5.5-inch loop, err more toward the 22 inches. I hope that kind of answered your question. I know it probably didn't, but I tried. You know? Okay, this one is from Patty Houghton. I do have a question. What do you use to store your beautiful big bows in? Wreaths and such too. Oh yeah, happy birthday, beautiful. You're a gift to all of us. Oh, thank you so much, Patty. I usually put my bows in, when I put my seasonal decor away, I will normally pack my bows away with the seasonal decor. I don't really have anything specific that I don't have like bins just for bows, you know. Well, at Christmas time I do. When I take my bows off of my staircase, I'll gather them all together with their pipe cleaners and I put a tie wrap around them and they go in a big bouquet, you know, and go in a bin. So I do that. But I normally put my seasonal bows away with the seasonal decor. I don't smush them into bins. If I need to go get another bin just for bows, I do it. But usually my seasonal bows go with whatever seasonal decor I'm utilizing. My wreaths, I've got them hanging from the rafters in the basement. Chris does. A lot of them. Some of them are piled on top of one another on shelving I have in the basement. Some are laying on a table I have down there. I'm really going to go through and purge some of my wreaths, though, you guys. I've got way too many wreaths. I really do. And hence why you haven't seen me make a lot of wreaths as of late. I think I explained this in another video. I just don't need any more wreaths right now. So, but yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. I have a basement, and there's one section of the basement, not the whole basement, but just one section of it that is dedicated to my bins, which I have been purging and purging and purging a lot of as of, well, at the end of each season, I go through the bins, and I usually set aside one. If I haven't used something in 3 years, it's out of here. You know, and I add to that, oh, I didn't use that this year. Oh, I didn't use that this year. And I'll look through that, you know, each year too, just to see if there's anything in there that I want to pull back out. But normally when I put it in that bin, it's usually on the way out the door, you know, so. But anyway, I think that's it. I hope that answered your question. And that's it for this one. And I, honest to Pete, you guys, do not have one thing planned for next week. I am so sorry to say that, but I really don't. Other than Chris had said he wants to go up in the mountains and look around up there. So if the leaves are changing and if we have any video footage from there, we can show you that. But as far as crafting and decorating goes, I really don't have a lot going on right now. I'm kind of in that lull between, you know, fall and Christmas decor. Once we start with Christmas, boy howdy, we'll have more videos and Carter has pills, you know. But right now I'm kind of like in that kind of like a little respite of a period here. So ask me more questions if you can think of more. And I'll do a Q&A for sure. And maybe a video of how I started my YouTube channel. And, you know, that sounded like that was something that was of interest to that one lady. If it's interested more, let me know. And, you know, I have a Bow 101 tutorial series that I've got, you know, I've got that on my, I just don't, you know, I don't have, it's hard to do videos when I really don't have anything to do, you know, as far as that goes. So anyway, let me know if you have any ideas. But for now, I'm going to shut this one down. I've been talking long enough, goodness knows. So let me just say, for those of you who are struggling or suffering with a catastrophic illness or chronic pain, I hope that you have someone there with you, taking care of you, helping you get through each day, making the very, very best out of each day. I hope there's nothing weighing on your minds or your hearts, pulling your attention away from where you want it to be or from where it should be. I love y'all to bits, to bits, to bits, hugs all around, and I keep you in my thoughts and my prayers every single day. And with all that said, I'll just say, until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.